What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Masterverse Rulers of the Sun Sunman Pighead, and then we also have the Origins Pighead. So we're kind of going to compare and contrast a little bit. I'll probably open this guy off camera. We may take a look at his comic and see if it gives us any of the backstory to Pighead, because he wasn't part of the original Masters of the Universe. He's part of the Sunman line, which is a little bit different. So I'm hoping that the comic book inside his packaging is going to tell us a little bit about that backstory. The real meat and potatoes of the video, though, is definitely going to be the Masterverse version of Sunman. We will probably swap the heads around, but as far as part swapping, it's probably going to be limited to just swapping the heads back and forth. And the blue is a different color on the Origins. So first things first, let's just do what we always do and take a look at this box. So we have Pighead, and he's looking really cool. I am a big fan of this sculpt. I think it works really well. I like the colors, I like everything. It just really fits together and blends together nicely. A lot of times I don't understand the color mashups that they do, but this all just looks really nice. When we come over to the side here, it's just going to say Pighead on this side, and then we got some really cool box art on the back. I'll stand it up here. We got Pighead, Shadow Weaver, Many Faces, and the Sorceress in this wave, and I do believe you can currently, as of right now, April 2024, you can find these guys in Five Below for $5 a piece, which is probably the best deal you're going to find unless you get it maybe secondhand or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and read the story real quick. I'll probably pop it up on the side here just so you can pause it and read it yourself if you'd like, but I'm going to read it to you anyway. Pighead, wicked enemy of Sunman. The rulers of the sun punished Prince Zegor of House Shadus for his cruelty, banished him to the shadows, and transformed him into Pighead, half man, half pig. Now he has one goal: steal the energy from the first sun, so that he might harness its power and rule the galaxy. Only one man stands in his way: Sunman. So that's a pretty cool little bio, and I love this artwork. I don't know if you can see it really well or not, but that is definitely a cool piece of artwork on the back here. And then so is it on the side. Just these Masterverse boxes, the original ones, I'm a real big fan of the artwork. I kind of like them a little bit better than the new boxes, even though the front of the new boxes has some more artwork. I'm just a fan of this side shot and the back shot that they did on these OG boxes, so that's why I keep them around. But let's go ahead and get him pulled out of the box and take a closer look. Alright, I did not bring any scissors down here with me, so we are going to just be tape rippers and band breakers today. Let's go ahead and just pull that off, open him up. He should just slide straight out. And then let's just see. This doesn't look like it has a, ooh, that's almost like silicone rubber. That's really neat. Let's go ahead and pop his hands out. Pop his shield out. Just kind of scooting everything around, seeing where we're banded in. It looks like both ankles are going to be banded in. All right, now we get to have our first little bit of band breaking. Just rip him out. Yeah, there we go. Now we got Pighead ripped out. And we got these loose arm guards. I'm never a fan of that. I don't know why they do this, or why they haven't been able to think of a better way to do these armbands. I mean, they have thought of a better way as of now, because Leonardo from the Turtles of Grayskull line, they got this figured out. His go up, they stay up, they hold in place really well. So I am a big fan of that. I just wish they could have done something more like that on these Masterverse guys. Let's see if we can get this slid back up onto his bicep. We'll try it. I'm putting them all the way up. I figure the higher up we put them, the better chance we have of them staying. So one more to go, and then we'll actually be able to take a look at the figure. All right, so there we got Pighead and his armor situated. His arm is being really weird. Nothing's wanting to turn correctly. There we go. Maybe it's just stiff and I just needed to loosen him up a little bit. He just doesn't feel good. I don't know. I'm half tempted to start just throwing these in a pot of hot water as soon as I get them, just because they are so stiff and I'm tired of worrying about things breaking. Let's see if his shield will fit over this spiked gauntlet, because that'll be interesting. Maybe it's not even supposed to. It looks like it is. It's going to go over the spike. Will it go over this one? This is a little more stretchy material than they did on the original shields, so that did work. My original shield, again, these things just pulled right out because I went to slide it up his arm and it just literally ripped right apart right there. So I'm glad this is a little bit, let's call it more pliable plastic. So let's get his shield in his hand. Let's go ahead and get his cool looking mace in the other hand. Oopsie. Just fish it down through there like that. Yeah, and then his shield just fell right back off. I want to put the shield on just to display him that way, but not if it's going to keep fighting me. I'll just leave it to the side. I just want to get him all set up so you can take a look at him. All right, so there we've got Pighead, and he's looking extra cool now that we've got him all situated. He does come with a couple extra pieces. The mace, the shield, he does come with two-fisted hands. I guess he doesn't come with two-fisted hands. This is a flat hand or a slapper, and then we've got another gripper for his left hand and then a fist for his right hand. So we got one fist, one slapper, and two grabbers. And then he came with this like silicone-like snake, which I think's pretty cool. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to fit onto him. It looks like it should hold on to his body, possibly. Let's go ahead and lift his arm up and try to slide it on and just see what happens. I'm really hoping it says something in that comic book as to why Pighead is how he is, has this stuff, a little more than what it said on the back of the box. So there is his little silicone eel dragon snake thing, as best as I can figure that it would go on him, but I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Probably not going to display him with that. I will probably keep him displayed just like this with his mace and his shield. So now that you've seen him with all of his stuff on, let's go ahead and pull this stuff off, and we're going to do the standard articulation. So his head will look to the left. It will look to the right. You can do a complete 360 spin. It will look down pretty good. That's actually a pretty good down. And then it'll look up to there, and that is because the back of the helmet starts hitting on the back of his armor here. His armor is not removable. It is sculpted onto his body. You can tell because of the way it is with the diaphragm cut here. If it were removable, then his lower abdomen would probably not be the same color as the top. I already went over my qualms with these right here. I just think they need to find a better way to hook them on there, and maybe they'll do that with the Revolution series. As far as his arms, they're going to be the same on both sides, so it'll go up to about there. It does spin 360 degrees. He does have a double jointed elbow, which will go up to about there. It would go a little farther, but his little gauntlet is hitting on his bicep there, which stops that. Then we come down to the wrist. It can also rotate all the way around, and it has a hinge to go down and up in case you want to wave at somebody. Let's see if this one has the same. Yep, see, so there we can wave. Hey, how's it going? Moving right on down, he does have the diaphragm cut, which allows him to do the ab crunch. It goes side to side a little tiny bit, and then he can kind of spin back and forth that way. He also has a hinge here at the waist, so you can spin the bottom half of him around like that, as well as a thigh cut, so his thighs will swivel 360 degrees, and that just helps you pose him different ways. Double jointed knee as well. Let's see how stiff this one is. Pretty good. That one actually worked out pretty good. It bent all the way until the fur started touching the back of his thigh, so we can't really complain about that. The ankle is on a ball joint, and it will go up and it will also point down. So this guy is, like I said, really posable. He's got a lot of different points of articulation. There's a lot of different stuff that you can maneuver him around and get different looks with him. And as far as his weapon, this is really cool. You know, I'm a big fan of the translucent stuff, so this and the snake, pretty awesome. I'm going to go ahead and pull the other pig head from Origins out of the box now, and then we'll kind of do some comparing between the two. Alright, so here's the Origins pig head. Looking in box, and as we look at him just in the box, you can see that the blue's definitely a different color. The other blue's more like a royalish blue, where this is kind of more of a turquoise color. It's 40th anniversary, Rulers of the Sun, Sunman. However, we have Pighead, Wicked Enemy of Sunman, Modern Posing, Retro Play. And then on the back of the card, we've got Pighead, 200X Skeletor, 200X He-Man, and then Mantenna. We do have the review for He-Man up. Mantenna will be coming. I kind of want to do him with my vintage Mantenna, so we can kind of compare him to the vintage. So I've got to bring him, and then it says fit Mace of Trickery into hand, twist into powerful battle positions. So that's about all we got as far as that goes. And then we've got this really cool picture. Let's go ahead and angle you up here a bit. Really cool picture at the top. So we're going to go ahead and pull him out of the box now. This one's glued on good. These normally just pull right apart. Let's go ahead and pull his little comic out. And then we will get Pighead himself. Let's see what we're doing band-wise here. Looks like we've got ankles and elbows. And that's about it for the bands. So, again, we're going to be band breakers again. Let's go ahead and pull the shield out. And band, break, break. And then normally you can slide the feet out. We'll go ahead and slap him down, put his little weapon down. And then we can throw his plastic prison off to the side, because we are not going to need that ever again. If Pighead gets locked up, he's going to be locked up in the dungeons of Grayskull. So, now let's go ahead and put his accessories on him, just the same way we did with the other guy. And you can see his shield here. A lot more plain, a lot more basic, but still sticking to that kind of pink and blue color scheme. He does also come with an open hand here on this hand. And we'll just put that in there, and then, boom, clip that right on his wrist. So he will be holding the shield. And then we will put his mace, or his flail. I guess this could be technically called a flail. We'll put it over here in this hand. Let's see if we can get him to pose up real quick. His feet are wanting to fight me. Bad idea, Pighead. If you think Sunman's a handful, you don't want to mess with me. Look how big my hand is compared to your whole body, sir. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just, I guess we'll put his shield back in his hand and just set the Masterverse Sunman up the same way that we have the other Sunman set up. That'll get us a better comparison look. And we can see the changes they've made, whether we think it's improvements or not. So there is the Masterverse Sunman next to the Origins Sunman. And I'm just going to have to go ahead and say it. I prefer the Masterverse 100% over the Origins. The Origins definitely looks like cartoony, like it could be cartoon style, but it's not. He's just a regular Origins character. And I don't even know. We'll swap these heads back and forth, but just due to the completely different colors, it's just not going to work. But I like to have stuff matching, you know that if you've seen my other videos, and this helmet being off-colored of the rest of his armor is just going to be too much for me to handle. But let's go ahead and just do it anyway so you guys can see what it looks like. His head just pops right off of that standard ball peg. His should do the same. And then we can put the Origins Pighead head. See, it's not the head or the face sculpt really that I dislike. And even with the camera, through the camera, the blues almost look like they're matching a little better. But I can tell you that they are a drastically different shade of blue. Let's go ahead and put Masterverse Pighead's head on this body, the origin body. That's really stiff. There we go. And that also helps him look not so cartoony. But this pig head would work good, I would say, if you were trying to complete that cartoon line of Masters of the Universe. This pig head would fit right in with those guys, I believe. Now, this head, I love it, actually. Excuse me. It looks really good. It's bigger. I feel like it fits the body better. It's just the shade of blue in the helmet. And I actually feel like this head fits this body better because it is smaller. This body's smaller. So I just wish those helmets were different colors or swapped colors, and I would leave these guys just like this. What do you guys think? You prefer this head or this head? The sculpt of the head only. I realize this one's more detailed, all around more detailed, but I just wish that helmet matched this armor because I would keep that just like that. I feel like it looks really good. Helmet's just too much for me to handle. So I'm going to pop them back off. Oh, and he just came apart at the waist. As you know, the Origins figures, they are like pop and swap, so you can take different pieces apart way easier than the Masterverse characters, as the whole arm will come off of the Origins guys, whereas on the Masterverse guys, you can basically just swap out the hands. And then we'll just put this head back on this body. Are we in there? All right, we're in there now. He's just giving me trouble. That's how you know he's a bad guy, right? He just don't want to listen. All right, so now we're just going to take a quick peek at this comic book. And it says, Masters of the Universe, The Horrors of Pighead. Let's see here. I'm not going to read it all to you. I'm going to open it up. You guys can pause it if you want to actually read the story a little more than what I'm showing here. It would just make the video way too long if I read this to you and we went all through that. Maybe we'll do a completely separate video where we go through several of these comic books. And then we can see on the back, again, the figures for this line. Alright, so as far as differences between him and the Origins, they are huge. We'll start with the shield. Way better sculpt on the shield, bigger shield, better color. It's kind of like a metallic blue. It almost looks like it has metal flake in it. I like that a lot. I may switch out the hand though, depending, just because this hand looks enormous. I don't know if it's just me, but this hand, I mean, look at the hand compared to the size of his head. The hand's too big, so I'm probably going to put the other grabber hand instead of the waver. I don't know who he's going to be waving at anyway. It seems like not too many people like him. And then his mace over here, I like a lot better than the other mace. It's definitely softer plastic, and it's also this translucent blue that I like a lot. And because it's softer plastic, it does actually move a little bit, whereas the other one, it doesn't. On the Origins one, it's pretty hard, and it likes to stay exactly how it's pre-positioned. I guess the last thing we can do is turn him around. We forgot to take a look at the back of him. Again, really cool character. Looks just as good from the back as the front. You know I'm a fan of the different types of loincloths. I don't like them all having the exact same loincloth, so the fact that he's got something different is also awesome. The only thing, I guess if I were to have a single complaint about this figure, it would be right here. These circles, they don't match. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a fan of things matching. This whole character was looking really good to me, and then this slid up and I saw those red circles, and just, why aren't those pink? Why aren't those blue? Why aren't those green? Why aren't they any color? I mean, why are they red? It just doesn't... Some of the choices that they make blow my mind. But there's Pighead. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to tell someone you love them. Subscribe to the channel. hit the thumbs up button, turn the notifications on, that way you catch the next video. We are doing Masterverse, we are doing Origins, we are doing WWE Superstars, we are doing Masters of the WWE. We have gotten into all different kinds of Ninja Turtles and have most recently expanded into DC and Spawn. So I'm just a lover of all action figures. Thank you guys for tuning in and sharing the experience with me. This channel is growing so well, and it's all because of you guys. So give yourselves a couple thumbs up because you guys are awesome. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.